Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. This is our unit number 3, our course standard setting in assessment, and this method is 8th in number, the direct consensus method. Dear students, I will discuss with you on this method in this session. The concept of direct consensus method. Dear students, one of experts says, improve upon some of the perceived shortcomings of Enghoff method and to give panelists more direct control in the recommending where the passing score is set. From this quotation, you can understand that this method is determined or made after the Enghoff extended method, and the purpose of this method is to improve the perceived shortcomings of Enghoff method, and its purpose is also to give panelists more direct control in recommending where the passing score is set. Now I will discuss the procedure of direct consensus method. Dear student, in phase first of rating, qualified participants are selected and they are introduced to the purpose of the testing program and are familiar with the content standards or objectives covered by the test. So at this phase of rating, qualified participants are selected and they are made aware of the purpose of the testing program, and they should be made familiar with the content standards or objectives covered by the test. Number 2, participants do not proceed items by item through a test form. Rather, an whole test form is recognized in sections and entire sections are reviewed and judged. It means in this method the items are not considered for analysis, but entire test section is reviewed and judged. Number 3, participants begin with the first sub area and they are instructed to indicate those items that they believe the just qualified candidates will answer correctly. So participants work on the sub areas and they are given instructions to indicate those items that they believe the just qualified candidates will answer correctly. So it means they are asked to point out those items to whom only qualified answers correctly. At the fourth step, the sum of each participant's sub-area score is taken as the participant's recommended passing score for the total test. The sum of each participant's sub-area scores is taken as the participant's recommended passing score for the total test. Dear students, now I will made clear through a hypothetical data of examples of direct consensus standard method, standard setting method. In this method, set area mean numbers of items. In this the raters, 8 raters assign the ratings to 5 items. Item number 9, 8, 10, 11. This is a set of area or a group of items. It is not individual item, but it is a subset area. So participants raters ID number as given in this table 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and participants recommended numbers of items within a sub area that the just qualified examinee should answer correctly. So A, B, C, D, E. So raters on item 9, raters assigned the numbers 7, 7, 6, 7, 7, 7, 7, 6. Sub areas means is 6.75, and percentage of number of items in sub area is 75%. And in item number 8, 6, 6, these raters assigned numbers scores to item number 8, 6, 6, 7, 6, 5, 7, 7, 7. So mean of these ratings is 6.38, and percentage is 79.8. And so the carry on item number 8, the raters assigned numbers या scores 5, 6, 7, 6, 6, 6, 5, 6. The sub area mean is 5.88, and the percentage is 73.5. So this way the experts or raters assigned ratings on 5 items, sub area 5 items. So the grant mean standard deviation is 33, and standard deviation is 1.51, or percentage is 71.7. So these raters sum up vertically and horizontally, and 46 item tests comprising of 5 sub areas of varying length and labeled A through E. So the subset areas and the items were assigned A to E, and 8 participants marked the number of items. So now we will discuss more in detail about these. The process often included open discussion with participants are asked to support, defend, or elaborate on the rationale for their judgments. So it means at this stage the discussions are started among the participants about their judgments. Number 1, participants are encouraged to discuss their ratings and the reasons for their ratings. First of all, they will discuss their ratings and then they will discuss the reasons why they have given these ratings. The discussion remain focused on the content and that sub areas and on the characteristics of the just qualified examinee. So their discussions remained focused on the sub areas and the characteristics of the qualified examinees. It is not derail here and there. Number 2, participants discussed to revise their sub-test area ratings during this round. So at this round, the participants discussed to revise their subset areas ratings. During this round, participants can clearly see how changes in their subset area judgments directly affect their individual total test cut scores. It means their changes explained these changes on their subset areas judgments directly affect their individual total test cut scores. It means the individual total cut scores are affected from their first initial judgments and after taking the changes in the second round, they feel about the or they understand about the changes, how changes affected their individual total test cut scores. Number 3, participants are encouraged to indicate their rationale for support of the group mean as final cut score. So participants are encouraged to point out their rationales, or it means their justification for support of the group means as a final cut score. So as a final cut score, they give their rationale and encourage to indicate their rationale. And final discussion, point 4, final discussion would foster participants' agreement on a consensus cut score. It means in the final discussion, they will focus, the participants will agree on the consensus of cut scores. Dear students, now I will discuss about the alternative procedures. The reality information be provided to participants. It means along with that cut points and the previous discussion, the judgments, the judges or participants are also given the reality information at the end of one of the round of ratings, at the end of their rounds. According to the authors, it would be possible to show the average item performance of the examinee in each content area. So it would be possible to show the average item performance of examinee in each content area. This suggestion to provide item difficulty data. So it will suggest the item difficulty level of each item. So it can be conducted by proceeding from the first round of ratings directly to discussion of the final cut scores. It means only one round is taken and then it can be conducted by proceedings from the first round of ratings directly to to the discussion of the final cut scores, because they compare their judgments with the alternate or reality information about this method, about the scores or this method. Dear students, now I will discuss about the advantages of this method. This method have some advantages. Number 1, time saving, as participants have to rate a subset area rather than all the items one by one. This method is time saving because in this method the raters or the panelists have to discuss, have to rate the subset area or a combination of items rather than all items one by one. So next benefit is it allows participants to exert more direct influences on the final cut score recommendations. So this method allows participants to focus or to assert more direct influence on the final cut score recommendations, because the reality information has been given to them. Dear students, this method have some limitations along with the benefits or merits. These limitations are following. Number 1, the method has only been tried with tests that can be divided into distinct content-based sub-areas. It means this method did not focus on to take test, rather it is focused on the exemplar papers, and the test samples are provided to them, and that can be divided into distinct content based sub areas. So it may be a limitation, and it may problem some faults in this process. Number 2, the failure of group panelists to agree at the end of the session on a single cut score may be quite probable, particularly when the group of participants is larger or more diverse. So when the test contains a large number of items. So the failure of a group panelist. So in this method, the group panelist may fail to become agree on some single cut score in the end of the session, and they may be probable or they may be in doubt, and particularly when the group of participants is larger or more diverse, or when the test contains a large number of items. Number 3, the third limitation is this: the skilled facilitators may be able to accomplish quite well. It means the skilled facilitators may be more well versed of are they able to complete quite well as compared to panelists. The dear students, I have discussed with you the concept of this method, procedure of this method, and rounds of ratings, merits of this method and limitations of this method. So thanks a lot for your attention. Inshallah we will meet some in other session. Assalamu alaikum.